Hello everybody, and welcome to Shadowlink Explorer Part 2. Because I hadn't written any more the last time I did one of these videos. Chapter 3. Your Point of View. You awoke to a large shadow casting over you. Hurrah! You yelled. The shadow that was not your own jolted in surprise. Link, where are you? You thought. I'm right here, said a chilling voice. He can read minds, you thought? Yep, answered that same chilling voice. You saw a flash of crimson and realized you were staring into the eyes of a monster. He had purple hair and white skin, or at least the palest skin you'd ever seen. You are not Link. Oh, but I am. His shadow, at least. Let me go. Never. You belong with me now. What you believed to be his hand flicked upward, and a light fooshed up on his finger, and for the first time you saw what he really looked like. Dressed all in black, dark all around his eyes, although his eyes were no longer red, but a soft cerulean blue, like Link's, of which you had grown so fond of, though Shadow Link's eyes were somehow more mesmerizing than Green's. You shook your head. No, you gritted your teeth. Link will come for me, and he cut you off. If he comes for you, he'll be dead before he reaches the doorstep. Possibly, you put on your best brave face, but knowing Link, he'll take you down with him certainly. He smiled, revealing white, razor-sharp fangs. Sorry, gotta dash, he said. I have some business to attend to. Bye. Wait! Don't turn your back on me! You screamed, but a door slammed in your face and you heard a faint click, and you knew he had locked you in. Damn. Chapter 4. No one's point of view. After defeating Vadi, they didn't really. The four Links rushed to Hyrule Castle to try and get out of trouble, seeing as Link was supposed to be watching Zelda and had lost her. So the only reason for returning to Hyrule Castle they had was to save their own butts. Sex noises. Why am I the only one doing this? Green breathed. Meanwhile, at Hyrule Castle, also in no one's point of view, a guard looked to the sky and saw a huge shadow cast over the whole castle. It was a monster ridden by none other than Shadow Link. It was a dragon, but for comedy purpose. Inside the castle, Link's dad is chopping up monsters left and right. Link, you are going to be severely punished for this. Stan, get the handcuffs. He slashed through another monster and made his way toward the throne room. Link, you little whelp, get your ass over here. But then he saw Zelda wasn't on the throne. Zelda's not in the castle? But why? And then he saw Link on the ground, mortally wounded.
Exclamation point! Oh God, Link, what have I done? I forced you to kill yourself because of what I've done to you. That means your punishment will have to go to waste. Link, how could you? I was just about ready to give you what you deserve. Link, you little bastard, why must you
Well, well. Wait, oops.
A gasp! Oddly enough, sooner. We know more than you ever could imagine. Ah, yelling all clatter. When it comes to S&M, I am the true master. I got you did it. Crazy repetitive.
And with that, and with that, he disappeared. And loading. Sorry. Your point of view. You pounded on the locked door, screaming at the top of your lungs. Your hair flailing wildly as you spun around and around looking for another way out of the room. Yes, a room. You had been locked in a beautiful large bedroom. A door on the opposite end of the room from the side you were in, you noticed, was cracked open ever so slightly, and you dashed over to see if it was possibly a way out. To your disappointment, when you threw open the door, it revealed a bathroom, which had an unlocked door inside that, too. But that door turned out to be only a closet for towels and whatnot. Tired and almost crying, you collapsed on the bed, only to hear a click and the door opened. Your head jerked up. And of course, it was none other than Shadowlink. What the hell do you want? You snarled angry at Shadowlink for doing this to you. I want to talk. Huh? You thought? Oh, and by the way, I thought you'd be hungry, so, His voice wasn't as cold as usual, as he said this. His hand flicked toward the bed and a plate of hot food appeared next to you. He began to walk over, closing the door and locking it with magic. Eat, he said. Oddly enough, his voice was soft. And don't try to say you're not hungry, because I know what you're thinking. You felt a small flicker of fear and gratitude when he sat on the bed next to you, but mostly it was just fear and anger. Why did you bring me here? You said between bites of chicken. Because I did. More specifically, I'm not saying any more than that. He suddenly reached up and gently cradled her chin in his hand. His head cocked and his lips met your neck. I am so sorry, he said with that, and he pierced your skin with razor-sharp fangs, knocking you unconscious with pain. He laid you unconscious on the bed, tucked you in, all the while his eyes were a light purple, also filling with tears. I had no choice, he said to your unconscious body. You would have ran if I didn't make sure you can't leave this place. I need you. Then Shadow swiftly strode out the door, locking it once again. Oh, by the way, that was chapter 5, if I didn't say that before. And loading, sorry. Is my computer slow? Chapter 6. Your point of view. You woke up in a cold sweat, trembling in fear. Instantly, your hand went up to your neck, feeling for marks. There weren't any. Also, there was no pain, as if it hadn't happened. Strangely, you were also starving despite having eaten only an hour ago. Then it dawned on you. It had been a nightmare. Shadowlink hadn't even been in your room since he left earlier, claiming he had business to attend to. You sighed in relief and laid back down. A dream. Just a stupid nightmare. Meanwhile, in no one's point of view, the 4 Lynx ran at top speed, finally reaching Hyrule Castle. Only it didn't look like a castle, more like an evil, haunted castle from the Dark World. And we're loading. Oh my god, it's still loading. And we're still loading. My god, I'm so sorry, this is so slow. I'm so sorry about this.
Shit. In just one day. Damn, he's good. Well, that's what she said. Punching the crowd in frustration! Ma'am. Shut.
Blue said, punching the ground in frustration.
Hush. Good job. Don't you realize the scene is supposed to be tense? Good job. Just one. Good job. Sean. Never mind that, Vio. This is super armor here. Why are we all speaking telepathically?
Red asked. Author's note. Yes, I make them speak to them each other sometimes in thoughts, okay? This, and then I did a thing where showing that one little line at top, whatever. You know, I didn't even need to say that. Because you can do it. The suit of armor then attempted to slash their heads off.
Monster and Triforce in disguise. Whack. Ah! Scareface.
Vio yelled aloud.
No, it's the guards.
Red said.
We did not lose Zelda, okay? And we totally did not steal these swords.
Suddenly, a massive crowd of possessed Hyrulean knights swarmed the fourlings, rendering them scared and outnumbered. Well, Red at least. Well, at least Red unsheathed the foresword, all except Green, who instead chose to deflect the hits, not fighting back and injuring the knights of Hyrule.
Stop being such a girl and fight.
No offense, ladies.
All the people, last one who can call me a girl, Theo. Also, I'm not fighting because I have a sudden urge to protect these people. We're our friends. We spent so much time together, and they trained us. In the art circle, not like night rooms.
Oh.
Hey, you crazy Londo!
Blue yelled.
You blind? They're all trying to kill us. I say don't hold back.
Then, it all stopped. At Hyrule, Chapter 7, at Hyrule Castle, still no one's POV. Okay. Well, well, a cold voice rang out. Wow, Vio said. Why can't I obtain powers of that caliber? It's so mesmerizing. As a shadow made all the suits of armor disappear with a wave of his hand. Pathetic whelps. Always so kind to others. It was Shadowlink. Next chapter, chapter 13, I think, and it ended up being chapter 8. You woke to the sound of a heavy door slamming shut. You bolted the open bed and then turned to face the purple-haired ass. Lol, that's what she said. Why won't you leave me be? Let me go, you yelled and came close to crying. It doesn't work that way. What? Finders keepers. Losers weepers, he said in a sing-song voice. All right, that's it, you began to cuss and scream at him. I'm sick of you and your bullshit. Get the PewDiePie reference? Aw, well that's too freaking bad for you, girly. 'Cause you're not going anywhere. You belong to me. Period. Wait, but he slammed the door in your face. You jumped onto your bed and burrowed your face in the pillow and began hysterically sobbing. It was hopeless. You were never going to get out of this place. Ever. Link, you whispered, still sobbing heartbrokenly. Help me, please. You were sobbing so hard you didn't notice at first the hand on your back rubbing slowly, comforting you. When you finally did notice, you looked up. It was Shadow. Why are you here? You asked, almost choking on your own sadness which had formed a lump in your throat. I hate you. Yes, I figured you would. Your name. But most people do. Suddenly his eyes lit up a crimson red. But you, no, you will love me, he screamed suddenly. You made your move and kicked him hard in the crotch and bounded for the door. You ran down a long hall and toward another door, and you pulled on the handle, and to your benefit, it was unlocked. But it was heavy, and Shadow Link was running at you after snapping out of it. He was about to touch your arm. You managed to pull the door open just a little, and bright sunlight poured in over both of you. You smiled, happy to leave, but you stopped with one foot outside when you heard the shriek of agony. Close the door, close the door, close the door, close the fucking door! Stop! The light, it burns! What? You stupidly closed the door. Shadow was on the ground, shielding his face and crying? Even after all that crap he had put you through, you felt a wave of pity wash over you. You knelt next to Shadow and felt a spark of friendship toward the strange boy. He's not dangerous, you thought. He's lonely. You wrapped your arms around his shaking body and he sat up. The two of you slowly scooched against the wall where you and Shadow hugged. Eventually, you rested your head against his chest and fell asleep, because for the first time since Shadow had kidnapped you, you felt safe. And that is all I wrote. And this is really slow. Come on, open, please. Okay, there it is. Okay, thanks for watching. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and in the and comment and stuff. And I also need to comment on how to change my YouTube name, because I can't figure out how to change it to Becca Ranger. So, peace.